Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you enjoyed the last video. This week I am going to be answering all your questions that you asked me on Instagram about my move to Canada, and you guys asked quite a few questions, quite a lot of the same questions, but I put them all together anyway. I've got everything written down on some paper. So the first question is, how long are you planning to stay there, and if you'd like to stay there for the rest of your life? I get this question quite often. I don't really know if I'm going to be here for the rest of my life. Like, nobody knows what's going to happen tomorrow. But I have got a 2-year visa, so I will be here for the next 2 years, and then we'll see what happens afterwards. I'm kind of hoping I'll be here for the rest of my life, but first we have to see if I like it. So far I like it, but things change and we'll see how it goes. But it's kind of a question that you can't really answer, but for now I'm here for 2 years, and that's how we're going to roll with it. The second question is, what's the reason for your move? So I'm not sure if a lot of you know, but I'm actually an artist and event manager. So I'm managing the rap artist Steph Lyon at the moment. If you haven't already, go check the album out. It's only new out, maybe a little over a month, but it's on all streaming platforms. So I'm mostly in the rap scene, and I'm also an event manager. So the rap scene in Ireland isn't that great. If you're from Ireland, you probably know that. It's starting to come up a bit more now, but still not to the level that I want to progress in. So here would be a bigger audience, a lot more opportunities and a lot more connections, which is what I'm trying to do. Not only am I trying to be an artist manager, but I'm also trying to be an event manager. So running my own events and stuff, I have a lot more space. Like, New York is only across the road nearly. So I have a lot more to work with, and more places to get experience, more people to meet. But I think other than that, I believe I would have always moved, whether my career or not. The Irish lifestyle, it's just not for me. I don't know, if you know me, you'd probably know that. It's a personal thing. Like, living in Ireland isn't that bad, it's just not for me. But yeah, that's why I moved, and I'm pretty happy with the decision. So the next question is, have you got a good career, or did you take what you need? So this is one thing I do regret, because when we were leaving, what we did was we took 2 big cases and 2 cabin cases, and we kind of just put in like what we'd use, but the rest went into storage. My uncle owns a warehouse, so we put it all in there. But I'm kind of regretting that now, because seeing the prices for shipping is actually insane. Like, for example, my mum sent over a box a couple of weeks ago, and it was 6 kg, and it actually came to €75 just for delivery, which was a bit insane. Like, but we've like 5 big storage boxes with like heavy stuff in it. But I did actually come across a courier online the other day. I think it was like $250 to ship all of it, so I think I'll do that after Christmas, if that is still the option, because everyone else that I seen, it was like 1,500. It's like, well, I can buy all of the stuff that's in them boxes again, but there's a lot of expensive shoes, like all my hair products. Like, these are the type of things I didn't take with me, can you believe it? But even my jackets, like, I was coming to Canada and I didn't bring my winter jacket. Yeah, you live and you learn. So the next question is, how did you find a place to live, and did you need a lot of savings? So I actually found the process of finding an apartment quite easy. Like, it's a lot better than finding somewhere in Ireland. Like, when I was looking for the apartment to live in Ireland, it took me 6 months to find an apartment. And here, I'm different to everyone else. Everyone is different, so I kind of went through lots of different apartments because I wanted to find the best one for us, and the best one that would help us save money in the beginning. So that took a while because I'm just picky, but when you actually find the one you want, it literally took me about 2 weeks, make some phone calls, and then you sign the paperwork, and that was it. The apartment was ready for us when we came. So that was easy enough. You kind of just have to do your research, make sure you're going with a reliable company, especially when you're paying online and doing stuff from a different country. It can be a bit sketchy. But just do your research and be grand, especially. And another thing I found difficult was trying to find an area that would suit us. But in the end, I found a good area. But we kind of had help from someone in Canada. At first, I was going for an area that was apparently dodgy, and the guy that we know in Canada was like, I'd go with that option. So that's what we did, and I'm happy we did that. But on the saving side of that question, so it kind of depends on the person, what way you're going to take your trip. Like when we were coming, we knew for like a year and a half before we came here, we had decided that we were moving. And we took a year and a half to save, and we sacrificed a lot of like things that we wanted. Like your wants have to go on hold, but we wanted to take off a few months before we started proper heavy working again. So that's why we saved a lot. And it's always good to have savings there, like obviously it makes life a lot easier, but again, it's down to you. If you want to come here and work straight away, obviously you're not going to need as much savings, but savings is always a good thing. So from my point of view, I'd save a few grand and sacrifice the wants just for a while, and it'll be worth it in the end. But the next question is, how is COVID in Canada? So it's kind of like everywhere is really bad at the moment. It's flu season, so of course people are getting sick and whatever, we won't go into that. Where I am, it's like 1,000 cases a day. We're in a traffic light system, so where I'm living, we're in orange at the moment. And that means like the restaurants and gyms and all that is open. But that's only been for like the past 2 weeks. I know Toronto is on lockdown from Monday. I just seen on my phone there that like the queues are mental for the shopping, and people are going crazy again because they're going to lockdown on Monday. Now I'm living in Ottawa, so the mayor came out a few days ago and said that he doesn't want to do the lockdown like Toronto again. So you kind of just have to take restrictions, take precautions, and make sure it doesn't happen again. But you never know what happens. Christmas is coming soon, and apparently the what do they call them here? Not the president, Prime Minister, I think. But he came out and said that Christmas, you won't be able to have a normal Christmas this year. So, like, I mean, I'm more educated on what's happening in Ireland. I don't really know the full extent of Canada, but that's the gist of it, I guess. And how was your quarantine? So the quarantine was difficult, like I'm not gonna lie, but we got through it. Like the first week was the worst. We got here and we hadn't got any furniture, we didn't have any food, no internet, nothing like that. We were lucky that we brought a blow-up bed in our case. So then, but even at that was a single bed. Like imagine 2 people on a single bed on the floor. So we had that, but by the second week we were kind of grand because I had 200 megabytes of internet a day, so we kind of used that to get furniture in the house. Amazon was like next day delivery here, which was insane. We also used it to get food and stuff like that, which was grand. But yeah, quarantine was definitely tough and I wouldn't like to do it again. But by the end of it, we had most of our furniture in the house. It took about 3 weeks to get internet here because the way everything works over here, you really need to have a Canadian bank account. But in the end, we got sorted. So the next question is, what was the moving process like? So the moving process for me was grand, like, but the beginning was stressful to say the least. Like I didn't enjoy the part of packing. I packed all the bags, and then it got to the point where we had to put everything into storage, choose what we wanted to keep, what we wanted to throw out or give to like my mom or whatever. And I had so many drawers and crap full of sentimental stuff and things I didn't want to throw out, and like stupid little things that's like, oh, my ma got me that for my 18th, or my ma got me that for Christmas. I didn't want to throw it away purely for the fact that my ma bought it and I'd feel bad. But that's where I had to be like, things just have to go. So by the end of that process, I kind of handed it all over to my boyfriend. I just couldn't handle that part anymore. I had done the cases and that was my part done. But the rest of the process was grand. Like, I thought the flight was going to be a lot worse. So we flew over to London and we flew with Ryanair. Ryanair, as everyone knows, is a nightmare to fly with. But that wasn't too long, it was only to London, so it was grand. But then we had an 8-hour flight to Toronto, which was really good. Like, I don't know if you've ever been on one of them planes, but it's the 3 rows and 3 seats in each row, so it was huge. I've never been on a plane like that before. I've only ever flown with Ryanair because I've never left the EU. But I thought 8 hours was going to be really tough, but it actually wasn't. They had like the movies on the back of the seats, and it was like movies that had just come out of the cinema and stuff that was on Netflix that like we didn't have. And the Netflix over here is completely different, which is great because you can watch like The Flash and Grey's Anatomy and things I've always wanted to watch, but they weren't on Netflix and I wasn't bothered to go find them anywhere else. But yeah, back to the flight. So the only thing with the flight I'd say that got me was going to the bathroom, because it was an 8-hour flight and obviously you're eating and you're drinking and everything else, but when you go to the bathroom it's like the suction, it scared me. Like, I went once and I wouldn't go again then. I'd never gone to the toilet on an airplane before, but it's like the whole airplane like opens up and it's like a huge noise. It was scary. But the food as well on the plane, I don't know if you watched my last video, you would have seen the food. It was like, I actually didn't eat anything on the plane. It was like rabbit food. I just couldn't eat that. We got like this wrap and it was just full of lettuce. I just left it all there, to be honest. But so the next question is the last question, and it's, how are things going so far and how are you keeping? So things are going pretty good. Obviously for the first 2 weeks we were quarantined, so now it's been like 2 weeks, two or 3 weeks since then. The first week we got out of quarantine, we went and got our little puppy. So she's 6 or 7 weeks now, and her name is Merlin. So she's a full breed King Corso. She's quite stubborn, like she's a girl, so she follows me around, she's like my shadow. But she's really stubborn to train, but she's getting there. I suppose she's still quite young, but she's getting there with the training, which is good. I'll leave a few videos in here of her because she's asleep at the moment and she's quite grumpy when she's sleeping. But other than that, yeah, we've been like around all the shops, and up the road we have a Walmart and like a Dollarama and Staples and Remarks and all of these. Like, these aren't in Europe, they're not in Ireland. You'd never find them in Ireland or England or anything like that. So it was really like a movie for me. It's like I'm going to Walmart and I feel like I'm excited, because you always hear about Walmart and Target and all these places. So yeah, I was actually quite excited to go there. And even when I go there now, I actually get lost. I don't think I'll ever get used to it. It's so big, so much stuff in it. Like, there's a McDonald's in it. Like, what? I know at home there's like Starbucks in Tesco and all, but McDonald's is in their level. Imagine you're going shopping with your ma and she's like, you want to go to McDonald's, and it's like there's literally going to be food at home. It's a whole other story to driving past McDonald's and she's telling you there's food at home. But I thought that was mad anyway. But other than that, it's all been cool. Like, I think it's so different over here. All the houses are so big. I love watching the Vampire Diaries and all, so when I'm driving past the houses, I feel like I'm on the set of like the Vampire Diaries and all the forests, and it's literally so cool. But today it started snowing, so I have seen snow like 3 times in my whole life, and even at that I've only seen one time where it's been really bad. But this will be my first time having snow at Christmas time, so that'll be cool. It'd be our first Christmas in our own kind of apartment and not sharing a house. First Christmas away from family as well, which I don't know, it might be tough, but it might not as well. I'd be distracted. I have my dog and I have Steph, and it'd be a good Christmas. So that's all the questions that I have from Instagram. But if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comment box and I'll get back to them if I missed any questions or anything. But that's all from me for now. I know Black Friday is coming up in a few days and I've ordered a few things already from the pre-Black Friday sale, but I'm definitely going to be going to Walmart and checking out the sales first time in Canada on Black Friday, so I'll do a little vlog on that and bring you along with me. So I'll talk to you guys soon, so don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment down below and go and follow my Instagram and all of that. So I'll catch you guys next time.